Good day everybody, welcome back. This is the Widdowmaker Racing League, it's the GR4s. We're almost at the final round, but here we are at Brands Hatch Short for round 5. The race season's coming to a conclusion, but it's all pretty tight after round 4. With BB up in first place, Big Marsh, who's away this week, in second. Big Popper coming through with a fantastic qualifying performance in the last 2 rounds. Widdowmaker there in 4th place, just 1 point behind. Absolutely no chance at the start of the league really for himself, but he's pushing on through. NW's away on vacation. Rogers decided he's going to pursue interests elsewhere. JB's coming back from injury. Deadly down there in P8's improving all the time. As won't join us this week, and neither will Winner due to holidays. So as it stands, there's a big gap at the front. 74 points for BB. Big Popper on 57, Widdowmaker on 56, JB there on 42. It looks like there's going to be a close challenge for this race. So with the qualifying taking place before the event, Big Popper qualifies in first, Widdowmaker second, JB third, BB fourth, and Deadly Backlight in fifth. Fat Man joins us for the first time, and with that the race goes to a reverse format. So as you can see from the finishing position last time round, the times are quite tight there. Everybody bar one within the 47 bracket, and that time of 47.178 is head and tail above anybody else. Big Popper confirming that with the last 3 qualifying performances, he's putting things together. So with that being the case, we're going to see the grid form up as we just look at some views of Brands Hatch here this week. One of the corners and one of the final bends, sorry, the starts from the corner, that's going to prove to be an interesting part of the race. You can see as the dive down out the first turn up to the hairpin, it's going to make a definite difference to the race. That corner's going to be pivotal. So here we go, Fat Man. This is his first week in the league as we see them take the grid and go through the start line. His qualifying performance there, a 48.209 sees him take the pole position. Deadly Backlight improving all the time, you can't knock him. He really is trying, and he's putting a new skin for every race. He puts in a 47.864. BB, the man who's leading the table, leading the league, not hanging about, he's up there in P1. He puts in a 47.364. No slouch, just 2/10 off the lead. JB getting it together in that big old 5-ton Aston. He's not been hanging about this week. Done some practice, put together a strategy that thinks we're going to win it. A 47.311 sees him up there in 4th place. Widdowmaker, no practice this week, didn't really have the opportunity. Didn't get it together on the Tuesday night, puts in a 47.254. That 4-wheel drive Subaru, always going to give him the chance. And Big Popper, P3 in the league, qualifies up there and dives straight into the pits at the end of the first lap. His 47.187 is the fastest lap of the weekend and the practice. An absolutely stunning start. So he's done the usual technique and in for the first lap, take off the tyres that he doesn't like, and he's just going to run the tyres that he wants to. As we've seen this strategy a number of times, the driver putting in first puts it together, gets on the tyres he wants to be on, and takes it to the front of the table. And it's happened 2 or 3 times this time out this season. So we're just filtering through the field. The only difference is the Big Popper's dropped to the back. Widdowmaker putting pressure on JB already. With only 6 races available today to take to the league, it gives us the opportunity to give more drivers more focus. Here we can see Big Popper, he's some half a lap down. You can see everybody through the start finish line now. And Big Popper now just coming around to take the start finish past the pits entrance, as the rest of the field farm their way around turn 1. Widdowmaker seems to be applying pressure to JB, but looking at it, they're all going to be on hard tyres to start the race. Some drivers will go long. Big Popper's slamming these laps in already, just getting things up to date. This will be his first flying lap. As you can see, goes purple. Fat Man with the current fastest lap at 48.322. Let's see where in car with Big Popper, he puts in another purple. Comes around to take the start finish straight. There's the pit entrance on the right hand side, you can see it. Takes a tight line down the right hand side of the grid through the finish line. laps in a 47.562, 3 seconds quicker than his previous lap, and that's the benefit of the tyres he's on. So back to Fat Man at the front, leading out Deadly. Those two guys probably running softs to give him a chance at the start of the race to keep ahead of the pack. You don't want to get overrun straight away. BB just getting there, applying the pressure, and Widow comes through. Looks like he was going to pick up a penalty there. That was quite a tight line. But he's still keeping the pressure on JB. And a gap's formed at the front as BB looks to make the first pass of the day. He takes second place on Deadly. Deadly leaving enough room on the entry there. Knows when he's beaten. And he comes to try and make it back. Does the undercut. Is that going to be enough? It looks like he's got up the inside. BB again leaves plenty of room down the inside. After last week's experience with the lag, I think the guys have learned to just give each other a bit of room. But BB resists the pressure, and Deadly's coming back again. BB forced to take a slower pace because of giving gap, but as it is, they come back through the corner. It looks like BB's assured a second place there. But that little bit of tussle has given JB the opportunity to catch back up. Widdowmaker still applying pressure to the back door of JB. But he confidently doesn't block, he confidently just keeps the car in front, taking the right part of the track. As we come into turn one, Widdowmaker looks to make the inside run, but it's not there. Big Popper, he's probably caught up 100 yards already. I was going to say putting in consistent 47s, but one just dropped into the 48s that last lap. On lap 4 of his softs, which will probably be just at the peak of the tyre life. Softs are aiming to probably last around about 10 laps, maybe 12. Again he puts purple sector in car again. Purple sector on the second split, comes round to take the final corner. Second gear up to third. Looks to reach for fourth on that sequential box. You can see it through the start finish line. A 47.446, so again fastest lap of the race. And he is literally only the length of that final corner behind the pack now. Takes another purple sector. Apexes that corner quite precisely. This little almost chicane-like series of corners, another purple sector. Are we going to see him into some sort of realm of his qualifying times down in 47.2s? Or are we going to see a 47.4 again? 47.424, so 2/10 outside of his qualifying performance, still a pretty good lap on full fuel. As we go back to the front of the grid, there's Fat Man just keeping an even pace, in fact probably just lengthening his lead on BB as we go through lap 8. These laps are going to total up really quite quickly. It's a short lap. JB pops in a blue second sector, so that's a personal best, as we see Widdowmaker just keeping honest. And there's Big Popper, just some 20 car lengths back now. Half the length of the start finish straight as he comes past pit lane. So in 6 laps he's whittled that down. Widdowmaker's just not applying the same amount of pressure as JB. JB's done enough there to keep him behind him. But it's a long race. No point making a waste of it in the first early corners. Everybody's keeping things quite nice and tight. Again we focus on JB, then back to the front to BB and to Fat Man, who's pushing it out rolling down these final corners. So Fat Man leads out lap number 10, BB in second, Deadly third, JB fourth, Widdowmaker fifth, and Big Popper comes round just some 8 seconds behind Widdowmaker now. He's brought that down from something like 32 seconds over the pace of 8 laps. So with the front boys putting in 48s, 49s, Big Popper's putting in 47, 48s, second and a half a lap. As Deadly looks to be making pressure on BB. That fastest lap of the race is still staying there at 47.4. On to lap 11, Fat Man leads out, probably 15, 16 car lengths out in front. Looking to make easy light work of it. Maybe the qualifying performance wasn't exactly the true reflection of capability on those tyres. Widdowmaker putting pressure on JB, and Widdowmaker looks to make the pass down the inside. We're not focusing on that part of the race at this moment, we're looking at Fat Man. Widdowmaker has got past JB as Fat Man turns off the track. He actually runs and slides through into the gravel, so does BB. Deadly hits the same, what looks like a patch of debris on the track, and all three drivers go off the circuit. That means Deadly's able to just gather it back up and push back to the lead. Widdowmaker in second, JB third, BB fourth. Big Popper comes through the gap and he's ahead of Fat Man on the pursuit of BB. So Deadly's able to take up the lead after a teeny little door bash, which I don't think it was his fault all told. I think all three drivers ran through that braking point for whatever reason. Two of them slid onto the track, and Deadly just loses the back end, but he's able to gather it up. Big Popper now on the move for BB, but BB looks to be holding him back. He looks like he's got the outside line. No, Big Popper's actually managed to secure that. BB just lifts and let him through. Big Popper the faster car as he takes the longer line as well through that final corner. As we look back to the front to see Deadly up there leading out the pack, leading onto lap 13. He looks quite comfortable out there in front. Fat Man takes to the pits. He's on his softs, so he managed to run 13 laps on a set of softs as JB makes the move up the inside of Widdowmaker. Widdowmaker comes back on the outside. Deadly just left the track momentarily there. JB goes wide and onto the grass. Widdowmaker comes through the middle. Deadly just loses it on the curb, and Widdowmaker's able to come through the gap. Is he going to hold it? Oh no, Deadly makes the same mistake and goes wide again. So now Widdowmaker pushes through into the lead. Closing out lap 13, it's Widdowmaker in first, JB second, Deadly in third, BB in fourth, Big Popper in fifth, who's gone to the pits again. Down to 64% of fuel, so those softs were done after 12 laps. He puts on another set. There shouldn't be any need to take fuel at this point. He can get probably 3 stops on one tank. So Big Popper comes out in fifth, just ahead of Fat Man, who we can see go round turn 1 now. He's no slouch, his Fat Man. He's able to put those consistent laps in. You can see the timing. Widdowmaker in first place now on hard tyres. Just looking now to push and accelerate and take the rest of the pack with him. JB though, not used to seeing the back door of Widdowmaker for this race. Widdowmaker's looked to be consistently being held back by JB. So Widdowmaker's probably got the opportunity now to just try and lengthen his legs, find his position on the track, get the best out of the tyres and run them down to bald. So the question would be at this point, what would be the length of time we would need on those tyres to make this race effective? In the past, the perfect strategy of maybe half an hour on hards, 20 minutes on mediums and 10 minutes on softs would be the ideal way, and there's got to be one driver doing this race, but it won't be Widdowmaker. He's already discovered he can't get the longevity out of the tyres in the Impreza. So there's a possibility he'll be doing a 3-stop as BB goes to the pits on hards. Yeah, there's those hards down to 60% on fuel. Very well economical. He drops 1 place already. Let's see what tyres he's going to put on this time. It's a short stint, 15 laps on hards. It's going to go on mediums. The attempt would be to do 2 stints on mediums, maybe then a softs. Big Popper goes through. He's now passed BB. having had that extra stop. So at this moment in time, Fat Man stopped, Big Popper stopped twice, BB stopped. We're expecting Deadly in any time soon for tyres if he's on softs. Big Popper will be looking to make ground again. He's already popping those fast laps in. Look, a 47.548. BB just on the exit of his pit lane, and here comes Deadly for that predicted pit stop. Down to 51% of fuel. And he manages to pick up a 1 second penalty, probably coming through that gap. That's how we knew to change the tyres. He's going to fuel up, putting on a set of mediums, so this will be a longer stint. We flick back to the front of the race. There's Widdowmaker just putting in the blue sectors. That'll be personal best fastest times. Currently a 48.522, over a second behind Big Popper. And that's the difference between hards to softs. On to lap 18. Widdowmaker and JB now the only two drivers that haven't stopped. And there's some maybe 14 seconds ahead of Big Popper, who again is on softs, and he's able to capitalise, maximise those tyres and chase down JB, because that'll be first on his target list. Running very similar lines, using all of that curb on the exit of that corner. Coming through the chicane, Widdowmaker starting to steal and borrow a little bit of that second curb. As you can see them go round the onto the start finish straight as Big Popper comes through again with the purple sector times. There's a potential here to this to be a fastest lap. Let's see where he is in relation to that 47.242. 47.270, so there's the next fastest lap of the race. Some point 134, maybe 164 ahead of that previous time. That's an impressive lap. Not as quick as his qualifying, but he was on a lighter fuel load for his qualifying lap. Lovely sounding Aston as he starts to chase down Widdowmaker. Widdowmaker's starting to steal inches across that chicane, and you can see he stole too many. There's the penalty. Just going to be a lift off, but it won't be this lap. He'll have to give that up next lap round, so that will give JB the opportunity to try and close in, try and take that lead from the Widdowmaker. Big Popper rolls around. BB following in 4th place. Almost equidistant gap now between JB, Big Popper and BB, one would suggest. Deadly's back down in 6th, having pitted. Here's Widdowmaker, and as predicted, JB looking at the opportunity to try and capitalise when Widow has to give up that time. Yeah, that was where Widdowmaker lost that penalty there, or gained the penalty, as JB comes round looking to line up Widdowmaker. That Aston's got such good straight line speed, he's got the opportunity to pick up the draft. Widdowmaker's just lifted, and JB's closing in. Can we see it with the foreshortening of the camera? No, Widdowmaker's just managed to keep in front. But there's an opportunity here coming up to this hairpin. Is JB going to have a look? No, he's not. He's just not close enough at this point. On to lap 21 now. Really good racing by these two. Not what we'd call toe-to-toe, but very close. It's just very even. They're keeping a fine speed. Very even speed. Repetitive lap after lap. And you can see the same from BB there. Just a pit stop on lap 15. Then even lap times either side. Fat Man putting in repetitive laps, and Deadly looking to gain and catch on Fat Man. So here's potential opportunity for JB to come and make the pass. Still not close enough, but he's not going to dive in. He's just going to keep pressurising, looking for that mistake, as it looks like Widdowmaker went to the gravel. Not forgetting those two front guys are on hards. Big Popper's on the mediums, and he's not really making much inroad in. Again, still keeping a relatively even gap between Big Popper, JB and BB, as BB puts in a personal fastest sector. Are we going to see another one as he almost leaves the circuit at that point? Just looked like he wasn't concentrating on where he was going. Another blue sector, so this could be the potential for a fastest lap. Will it be anywhere near the 47.270? Current fastest lap of 47.857, so what's this going to be? A 47.737, so he's actually gaining, he's closing the door on BB. Can we see him? We can just see him closing the back door on, closing up to the back door on Big Popper. It's still a ways to go. But Widdowmaker and JB still duking it out. So when will these two go to the pit lane? If they're both on hards, Widdowmaker's just dived into the pit lane now. See Widdowmaker enter the pit lane there as JB comes round and takes the lead. Big Popper now taking up to second place, visibly closing. Widdowmaker on 38% of fuel is going to ditch the hards. It's going to fuel up to mediums. Bit of a delay at the end of that stop there, and he's out in fourth place. He's managed to hold fourth. So Fat Man and Deadly just not managed to keep up. So all the leaders bar JB now having pitted, and Big Popper's pitted twice, and he's still able to keep up with the front guy. So what's JB going to do now? Is JB look to settle in and run a long stint? With 20 minutes gone of the race so far, Big Popper comes in for his third stop as he pulls in from second place. That gives BB the opportunity to slide up to second. Big Popper's now going to fuel up. How much fuel is he going to take? Just enough to complete that third stint. So Big Popper comes out behind Widdowmaker in fourth place. I wonder if that was the decision, was to let Widdowmaker come up and he can chase him down, gives him something to drive at. JB comes round completing lap 25. Will we see him go to the pits? No, he drives on past. BB in second place. There he is in the distance. You can see him at the top of the screen there. JB crosses the line. Another lap in the 49s. Very consistent. Lap 26. So you can only assume he'd be aiming for the 30 minutes. Lots of tyre squeal, tyre noise there from the Hurricane. Widdowmaker in third, Popper behind. In fourth. That S15 looks menacing, chasing you down. Widdowmaker goes purple sector, sector 1. Using all the curb on the overrun of the corner, followed by Big Popper. Cutting through the S corners. Is he going to borrow too much? It doesn't do a purple, but he's 3/4 of a second up on his personal fastest lap. So these medium tyres coming to the boil. As we get a close up of the skin, produced by JTP Addictions. Correction, GTP Addictions. We look back lower down the order, there's Fat Man and Deadly still running those consistent lap times in the 49s, and we look to the lead times and they're running 49s as well for JB, so consistent front to back of the field. JB being caught now by BB as Widdowmaker picks up another penalty in the same place, pushing it too hard. I have to correct myself, it was GTP Addictions, JB's skinning name. Third time lucky, we'll get it right. So Widdowmaker's going to have to pay that penalty on the next lap. As always, when you pick up the penalty at the end of the lap, there isn't enough time. So it gives the guy behind him, in this case Big Popper, the opportunity to chase you down. If you hadn't haven't noticed we're on lap 28, 22 minutes gone of the race. JB is probably 5 car lengths ahead of BB now, BB having stopped once, JB not having stopped at all, really pushing those hards to the end. Being able to put 48s in on a 29 lap old set of hard tyres is pretty impressive. And being able to keep behind you somebody on mediums as well that are only, let's say, 14 laps old. Those mediums are actually going to be coming to past their best at this point of the game. But as we say that, BB now able to close right up on the back door of JB. Prepare yourself for some close bumper to tail, bumper to nose racing. Let's hope for some clean passes. Let's hope for some effective resistance moves as we see BB come up the inside. Is he going to make that pass? Yes, JB is going to leave the door open. But I'm guessing he's not going to let it happen just quite as easy. He's going to push back, one would hope. Or is BB in a position where he's going to just accelerate away? JB's tyres now really burnt out with 30 laps gone. To the back of field again, just to keep our eye on the back markers. Big Popper in 4th place now, just catching Widdowmaker. Widdowmaker's mediums are 7 laps old, and he's putting in, well, we're looking at Popper's times here. He's putting in 48s, another 48.5. Widdowmaker's putting in 48s, 49s, 47s, quite varied on those lap times. The fastest lap of 47.749 is nowhere near, half a second slower than Big Popper. As said earlier about the qualifying performance, Big Popper's really shining well. He's learning to handle that S15 as we focus back on BB now on lap 31. He's just starting to pull out a discernible lead over JB as JB takes those hard tyres round again to go on to lap 32. Widdowmaker in 3rd, Big Popper in 4th, and there isn't that much of a gap. There's probably 5 seconds between 1st to 4th. 5th and 6th running still on the same lap, just further down the pack. There's nobody been lapped at this point. So lap 32, JB leads, followed by, BB leads, followed by JB. We focus on BB. Too many BBs, JBs, BPs, DBs. BB goes into the pits to pit for the 2nd time on 32 laps, and JB continues on that set of hard tyres. Lap 32, Widdowmaker up to 2nd place, Big Popper up to 3rd, 15% fuel for those mediums. What's he going to put on? Another set of mediums and take a fuel load. See him drop to the back of the foursome anyway, up to 52%. So he's potentially going to run another 16, 17 laps on those mediums. Taking him to somewhere like lap 48, 49, maybe lap 50. JB leads out now, and he's just getting caught again by Widdowmaker. Lap 33, closing out up to lap 34 as he comes round to start the finish straight. Fat Man's pitted again on the mediums, filling up. As JB and Widdowmaker go past, we can see Fat Man exiting the pits as Big Popper comes through. So the lead trio have just lapped Fat Man for the first time. And that would also suggest Deadly has been lapped as well. So there's your 3 lead cars. Widdowmaker Widdowmaker must be thinking, I passed this guy earlier, was he? How comes he's still in front of me? Not realising that he hasn't pitted yet, as Widdowmaker takes a longer line and he looks to try and make the pass around the outside. Has he got the draft coming down the start-finish straight? Is he going to be able to make the move? Is he close enough? As we go on to lap 35, there is no gap there. JB is still managing to put those laps in. Look, 49s and 50s. Widdowmaker looking to make the move up the inside, and he's got the door open. Is Big Papa going to be able to capitalise? He has. So Widdowmaker and Big Papa make the way past JB. Big Papa just closes the door in front of JB to shut him down, but I'm really thinking that those tyres are really on their limit for JB. So Widdowmaker picks up the lead again on lap 35. That'll mean he's on approximately lap 13 of those mediums. 29 minutes almost gone of the race. Big Papa 3 stops in. He's on his 4th set of tyres. Is there an opportunity here for Big Papa to capitalise on his position and get past Widdowmaker? He really needs to if he's going to keep on his strategy. Now's the time to make that overtake. Widdowmaker's mediums will just be starting to switch off. Those mediums are probably only good for maybe 20 laps on Widdowmaker's car if he's going to run them long. We just have to see what happens. No, Big Papa takes the opportunity to go to the pits, and JB on lap 36. 1 pit stop. Big Papa coming off on softs, not mediums, and JB on hard. So that gives BB the opportunity in 4th place to just come past, see if he can get past Big Papa and JB. Both on low levels of fuel, so they've both got to fill up now. Big Papa's stopped at 43% on another set of softs and gone out. JB's filling up on hards. Let's see what tyres he's going to put on. This has got to be mediums. No, actually, that's softs. He's actually put softs on. There wasn't a clear indication from the pit crew, but I've had a message in my ear that tells me he's on softs. So Widdowmaker leads out the race. Didn't feel a threat from Big Papa to make the pass. So JBB is almost the entire length of the start-finish straight behind as Widdowmaker passes the start-finish line. So Big Papa there. Again, equal gaps between Widdowmaker, BB and Big Papa. That's what these pit stops do. So Widdowmaker has only stopped the once. And it looks like he's about to... Yes, he is. He was taking that inside line for the reason. So, giving up P1 on 12% of fuel off the mediums. He can only be expected to take on a set of hards at this point. Lap 38, just gone past the halfway point. We're 31 minutes in. Widdowmaker now fueling up. What's he going to put on? 75% fuel for a set of hards. That should mean he shouldn't have to refuel for the last stop, one would suggest, to make that last stop a short fill. Just tyre change, a splash and dash. JB in 4th place on lap 39. Just going to stay with JB now as he completes this race. He's just put in his fastest lap of the race, a 47.485, and goes purple, first sector. As the camera picks him up coming along the back straight, we see him go through the chicane. Widdowmaker there in 3rd place, just now starting to just warm in those hard tyres as Big Papa in 2nd place goes round T1. Lap 40, blue flags being waved. JB coming round to finish lap 39 and go on to lap 40. Controls the car into the corner, looks to catch the grass, and the back end goes, and he drifts it all the way around the corner, almost puts it off into the gravel. That could have been the end of that race for him there. If he'd high-sided that into the gravel, that could have flipped the car. However, he keeps motoring on after showing reasonable attempt to control the car and keep it on the track. Not entirely sure if that was luck or judgment, but there he goes, lap 40. Coming round to complete lap 40 now. Almost 34 minutes done of the race. And we're going to flick back to a live replay here of big... Where are we? It looks to be JB in car, and it is. It's that corner where he just slid off, almost takes it into the gravel. You can't see how much sideways the slide was on the car there, but that was tremendously well held. And this was just back on lap 38 when Widdowmaker was taken to the pits. So it wasn't the first time that JB had been sliding round turn 1 as he puts in a purple time. This is just an in-car view of him putting his fastest lap in, I would suggest. Yeah, there it is. That's his personal fastest lap, just 1 second up on his previous set of tyres. Well, he's on softs now and was on hards. So we joined the race back on lap 46, Popper in front in 2, as he almost slides it off the track chasing down BB. That was a good save. Once you get out there on the marbles, there's only one place you're going, but he did recover that very, very well. So as we're coming up to the 40-minute mark, JB has now managed to catch up to Widdowmaker after putting in some exceptionally honest laps. Just see him using all the track there. Big Popper is really starting to close in on the BB. BB seems to be naturally comfortable in P1, able to sit there and stretch his tyres out. As it stands, BB is the leader of the league at this point, and it goes to show that just consistent, fast and even lap times are the way to go, and he's demonstrated that through the whole series. As we just take a glance back to Widdowmaker and then with JB coming around the start-finish straight, all 4 cars within, we would say, 14-15 seconds at this point in the race. Some drivers having taken 4 pit stops on 5 sets of tyres. One guy's only pitted once. One guy's pitted twice. And then Widdowmaker again, who's only pitted the once at this point. So Big Popper comes in for what will be pit stop number 5 on lap 47. That's another set of softs done. Pitting from 2nd place. There's a potential for Widdowmaker to gain a place now. Widdowmaker on the medium tyres. He's back on the hard tyres. Running set 3. I just said he'd only pitted once, but he has pitted twice. Just confirming on my notes. As JB comes round for 3rd place. Big Popper dropping back down to 4th place. He seems to be doing all the work. He seems to be coming out in 4th, making his way back up to 2nd, sometimes 1st, pitting back down to 4th and doing all the hard work again. It's just a series of fast sprints. In the background there we can see Fat Man. There we go, so Widdowmaker in 2nd, BB 1st. Just running the lap times. JB seems to have picked up some damage on the rear left quarter panel. Don't know where he's picked that up from. As he comes to the pits, did we just see JB dive into the pits for his 2nd stop? Is he taking off them softs? Yes, he is. He's on 66% of fuel, so one can only suggest he's going to go to mediums for the final 20 minutes as the clock ticks to 40 minutes done, so there's 20 minutes to go. And that's it, 66% of fuel to take him all the way to the end. That's 2-stop strategy. And he's in 3rd, 4th place as he comes back to the track. BB in 1st. Lots of tyre squeal from BB as he comes to the pit lane on lap 49. He's currently on mediums, which will leave Widdowmaker to take up the first place. Widdowmaker must stop one more time. He's done hards, medium hards, and he's got a set of softs to go. BB now filling up. He's going to need something like, oh, he's only taken 35% of fuel. Is that going to be enough for 23, 24 laps? As Big Popper comes in, he dropped down to 4th, but he's now up to 2nd. Just goes to show what the pit stops do. So there's the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Widdowmaker in 1st place then, runs 2 tyres off the track. Comes through the S's, not looking to give away any penalties at that point again. As he comes round to complete lap 50. Now at this point he'll be thinking, how much further I've got to go on these tyres, I've got plenty of fuel. It was a long way back to 2nd and 3rd. They're just coming past the pit entry now. You can see them running together. Is this an opportunity for BB to pass Big Popper? They're both on fresh tyres. I'm expecting Big Popper to be on softs. Maybe BB's on softs this time round. This could be real close stuff as Fat Man takes the pits. Slicing through the chicane there. Interesting to note that Big Popper not using the curbs at all, keeping all 4 tyres on the black stuff, running a wider line this time rather than the tight narrow ones he was using to complete the fastest lap of the race, which is still there at a 47.270. That looks pretty good to hold out to the end of the race. That's a pretty impressive lap time, unless somebody's going to be on softs for the closing laps where they need to desperately make up that time. Big Popper just runs it right, but again puts in a purple sector. There's nothing holding him back. That pressure from behind from BB is enough to give Big Popper the urge to go on and slip those fastest times in. This time he puts 2 tyres on and another purple sector. Are we close to a 46 fastest lap? BB runs a little bit wide as we flick back to that battle. Has BB got the inside line to make the pass? Is it looking like he's got it? He's alongside. Let's see if he's got the move. Yes, he has. It looks like he's beyond. He has. He's made the pass into turn 1. That was very well let go by Big Popper. Sometimes the urge there to try and close that door is very strong. But lap 53, BB up into 2nd place. Widdowmaker running free. You can see them just behind now. Even though they were battling, they're still catching Widdowmaker on them hard tyres. Widdowmaker's put in some 10 laps now on those hards. Deadly Backlight almost left the circuit at that point. We just caught the cameras of him there as he was almost lurching off into the gravel as he cuts that inside apex a little bit too tight. JB in 4th place. Haven't seen much of him in the last 3 or 4 minutes since his pit stop. He's just settling into those tyres. That set of mediums, he's got to treat them keen to get them to the end of the race. Big Popper now holding on to 3rd place. He doesn't look beaten. It looks like he continues to put in those lap times. Look, you can see the pit stop back on 47, and then he's dropped into 47, late 47, early 48 leads lap times. As BB come round, Widdowmaker leads BB. You can see them in the background there. Just rolling 2 tyres over the curb, as everybody seems to be doing. Widdowmaker managing to just manage his tyres. They're certainly going to be on the run down though. It's the hardest thing for Widdowmaker to do, is to manage those tyres successfully. A temptation is to run with red tyres to try and negate the pit stop time. The pit stop time here is relatively short compared to other circuits. At the next series, when we go to Suzuka at the next round, or Tsukuba as it should be called, it will note that the pit lane entry is extremely long, and just to change tyres it's something like 35 seconds without taking any fuel. So we'll see an interesting strategy, and you can see just how much time BB and Big Popper are taking out of Widdowmaker now. Widdowmaker just continuing to try to manage those tyres. We're in a different race when you're managing tyres. There's a distinct chance Widdowmaker might let penalties slip here if he's being pushed too hard to keep this car going around the track in such a fast manner. But you just got to keep managing it. You just got to keep putting those laps in. No mistakes. Running the tyres on the curb. As BB looks to now to line up Widdowmaker for the pass. Lap 57. Yeah, it definitely looks like Widdowmaker's now going to come under pressure. He loses the back end as he goes up onto the curb. Is that enough to give BB the run at him at the end of the final corner as he comes down the start-finish straight? It looks like BB's just lining it up there around the outside. Widdowmaker takes the tighter line, but is BB going to have the run? He's going to pick up the draft by the looks of it. There it is. Widdowmaker's gone tight. BB goes to the outside, but there isn't room. Widdowmaker runs it wide, and BB cuts down the inside. A lovely switchback. Widdowmaker going to cut up the inside. It looks like he's going to try. We've seen this move before today as BB just tries to close the door and traps him out. Nicely defended. Great defending there by BB. But that's got to be the end of Widdowmaker on those tyres. Those tyres aren't going to be able to cut up that kind of run. Big Popper now looking to capitalise. Will Widdowmaker be able to keep Big Popper behind him? Lap 58. Big Popper at the end of his tyres there. He's coming in from third place. Got to change off those tyres. Is he going to be in for his final pit stop now before the end? Probably some 15-16 laps to go. That means JB's got the potential to move up to third place. Big Popper's going to need fuel. What's he going to take to? He's taken to 49%. Where is he? He's coming out the pits. He's behind JB. There he is coming out. So let's have a rundown. BB in first, Widdowmaker second, JB in third, Big Popper in fourth. So we know Widdowmaker has got to make one more pit stop. At this point it's highly likely BB is going to pit as well. And with Widdowmaker and BB running quite close together, some 12-15 car lengths between the two, we got the opportunity to see where JB and Big Popper are. Oh, Widdowmaker almost puts it off into the sand. And that gap's not growing. Maybe BB pushed his tyres to the limit to get past Widdowmaker. We should be able to see. There's Big Popper dashing past in the background, going up the hill. So there's a roughly the same sort of similar gap between JB and Big Popper as there is between BB and Widdowmaker. Who went in the pits just then? Who went in? No, BB went past, so that was Deadly Backlight went to the pits on his softs on 2% fuel. There he is. All skins designed by the man himself, and everyone gets better and better. So Fat Man coming round. Is there the opportunity here for Fat Man to take 5th place, or is Deadly going to come out in front? It looks like he's coming out in front, and he's joining up to the back of the race there of JB and Big Popper. Yeah, Deadly just slips in place in 5th, albeit just the one lap down though, I'm afraid. So BB and Widdowmaker at the front. Lap 61. There's that familiar tyre scrub as BB takes the car to the pits. So he's going to be making his final pit stop, followed by the Widdowmaker, who clips the barrier on the way in. BB comes in off softs, Widdowmaker comes in on hards. BB on less fuel, so he's going to have to fill up some more. Widdowmaker into the furthest pit bay down the start-finish straight. BB fueling to 36, Widdowmaker fuels to 30 to short fill, and they both come out. There's BB in front, and Big Popper slips in front. So first, second, third and fourth, JB first, JB first, BB second, Big Popper third, Widdowmaker fourth, Deadly Backlight in fifth, all line astern. You couldn't ask for a better finale, a better climax to this race. Just 5 seconds splitting the top 4 cars. Top 5 cars in a line, even though Deadly's probably the 1 lap down. But here it is, folks. Everybody's pitted at this point. There should be no more pit stops to go. JB's on the oldest set of tyres, on a set of mediums. He's leading out the field as they come round to complete lap 62. BB looks like he's in the position to overtake. Big Popper looks like he's in a position to capitalise on any mistake. But they're holding it together. First, second, third, fourth and fifth coming through that part of the race as Fat Man takes to the pits. It could all happen here, folks, as Big Popper puts in a big tamp slapper. Widdowmaker dives down the inside to try and avoid it, but was there any contact? Was there? Should we take the opportunity to review that? Are we going to get a highlight reel from race control as JB comes round to finish lap 63, and we do get the opportunity to see it from in-car from Widdowmaker. Big Popper puts the tyre on the curb, slides it out to the right, comes back across as Widdowmaker purple sectors. There was no flags to throw up there as Widdowmaker comes through. Here's another angle, you can see it, there was actually no contact at that point. Actually great driving from Big Popper just to hold that up as Widdowmaker now up to 3rd place. JB first, BB second, Widdowmaker third and Big Popper in 4th. Still that same sort of gap between them. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Absolutely no idea what's going to happen here. If it finishes the way it is, this will be a maiden victory for JB. But we've still got somewhere in the region of 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go. There's a potential for a further 8 laps. I guess we'd be counting on the fact that JB's tyres are much older. Widdowmaker took 4% fuel less than BB at the pit stop. And Big Popper's tyres are also older if they're going to be softs. He's done all the tyres, everybody's done all the tyres. Nobody has actually got a set to change onto. If you're stopping, you're stopping for convenience. How is this going to happen? How's it going to unfurl? JB's managing to hold that lead. Oh, as BB almost slides it off the track and up the bank. Extremely fast, close racing as Widdowmaker looks to make a move up the inside of BB. He's got the run. And he's also got the slipstream off JB, which is able to slide up the inside as JB goes to the outside. Widdowmaker's making a 2-car pass down the start-finish straight. He's not quite in the lead. He is now. He's managed to secure the inside line as BB comes round on the grass, almost loses it. Widdowmaker tries to close the door there on JB and manages to keep it, but runs out wide. BB comes back up the inside and manages to get in front of JB, who's on the grass and all over the place. He's put it sideways. Has he managed to recover it? He has, but he's had to step on the brake as Big Popper steps on the gas and puts the car between them. So JB, unfortunately, there, tyres giving up in him, I would say, at this point. Those mediums have done their stuff. Is he going to be able to put the pedal down and get back to that front group? Big Popper's got the same problem. He's on a set of aging softs. Widdowmaker comes through now, lap 67. Just 3 to 4 car lengths ahead of BB. As BB slides all the way round turn 1. Absolutely tremendous slide. We've seen those bits before, haven't we, JB? So Widdowmaker now starting to pull away on those medium tyres. Is he on mediums? No, he's on softs. He's on the soft tyres. That's why he's got so much traction and grip. But the issue here is those tyres are now starting to be 5 or 6 laps old, so they're going to start to degrade. Just checking my notes. When did he pit? Back on lap 60, when the same time as when BB pitted. And he also took 4% less fuel than BB, so the race is still on. This isn't over yet, folks. Even though there's a gap appearing between first and fourth, it's still a race to the finish. Less than 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go in the race. I was going to say less than 5, which is true, but it's now 4 minutes. Less than 4 minutes till the end of this race. JB is still managing to keep ahead of the 5th place car. As JB runs it off into the gravel. That's got to be the end of those tyres. Those tyres are just giving up on him now. It's got to be a 4th spot secured for JB there. Can't see anything else happening at this point in the race that would mean anything other. Would it be the ideal opportunity for him to pit and just to converge and to concrete that 4th place? Or is he still going to push for 3rd? Seeing the battle here for 1st place between Widdowmaker and BB. Lap 69 coming to the close. Widdowmaker definitely not wanting to give up a penalty through there so far. He's given up 2 today as BB looks to make a run on the inside. Is Widdowmaker able to close that gap? He's managed to put the car down on the low line. Now he's run it out wide. Big Popper's taken to the pit, so he's given up on those soft tyres, going to put new ones on, thinking that he's got the opportunity to get ahead of JB. JB's dropped back a fair way. JB's now made it up to 3rd place as we watch Widdowmaker round the hairpin for what feels like it's going to be one of the last times. BB just managing to stay close. Bit of a bounce up that curb as they came through that corner. So JB is up to 3rd place now. Big Popper in 4th. BB again lining up Widdowmaker. This looks like the opportunity for a pass on lap 70. Less than 3 minutes, almost 2 minutes to go. So it's going to be 2 more laps potentially, maybe 3. And I know Widdowmaker's looking at his fuel gauge and thinking, how as BB tries to glitch? He's had some sort of incident coming into the corner there. Did he misjudge the braking point as Widdowmaker slid into the apex? Put himself off the track. Here we go, we get to look at it. It looks like he did. He braked hard, went to avoid, got it into the gravel, but managed to wrap it up, lever it back onto the track, and he's not lost that much. Oh, that was so nearly the end for both of them there, one would suggest. A good recovery for BB. As we see JB rounding out. Big Popper chasing them down. There's the opportunity for Big Popper to take back that 3rd place. So there's 2 battles going on. There's the 1st, 2nd place battle and the 3rd, 4th place battle. They're all important points for the end of the season. Whatever you can win today is going to make the last round so much easier or so much tighter. So 1st and 2nd, Widdowmaker holds it coming into the hairpin. As we come in, less than 1 minute left to go now. Widdowmaker in 1st place, but BB's got the run. He's looking like he's making the room. Widdowmaker runs wider. Widdowmaker keeps it narrow. BB's got the run up the outside. It looks like he's going to make the move. He has. Widdowmaker on those soft tyres. Probably run out of tyre at this point. He probably pitted just a fraction too early. Try and run 12 laps on a set of softs for Widdowmaker is going to be the impossible task. And BB now takes up the mantle of 1st place, and it looks like he's going to secure his win. As we look to take the final lap, this will be the final lap. 59 minutes 38 seconds. There won't be another. Big Popper comes through in 4th place. He's run out of road as he goes into the gravel. Oh, that's unfortunate. He gets reset to the track. JB comes round that final corner, he's so much further ahead. BB, the clock's gone past an hour, that's it. All BB's got to do now is take it to the final finish. What an absolutely stunning last 10 minutes of the race. All four cars together, BB comes out victor, Big Popper takes the line, Fat Man takes the line as we watch BB round the final corner, coming to the finish. Here he is, taking the checkered flash, a great victory. Widdowmaker in second, only 3 to 4 seconds behind. Stunning stuff. Absolutely monumental victory there by BB. That puts him in a great position going into the final round. Here's JB coming for third place, takes the finish flag. And there's Deadly backlight in fifth. Fat Man in sixth, who's already finished. He finished just a lap earlier. Well, what a great rundown. There it is, there's your final finish. Finishing in first place was BB, but third place overall because of the points tally gives them 18 points. Widdowmaker and Big Popper tie equal for second for the round, but positions given to Widdowmaker purely because of his fastest race finish. Big Popper in third there, in second shown on the screen, but with 19 points. JB finished the race in third, but fourth in the total with 17 points. Deadly with fifth, picking up 12 points for the race, 13 in total, and Fat Man with 11 points in sixth place. Now, with that being said, folks, that's going to make some interesting numbers for the final position. The next slide we're going to see is one that gives us the opportunity to look at the final finish points going into the final race with the points dropped for the worst result. So the idea is it's a 6-round championship, but only your 5 top finishes count. So this is the position. BB on 75 points in P1. His 4 top laps qualify. He had the perfect round in week 4. Widdowmaker is into second place, tied with Big Popper. Widdowmaker being given second place purely because he's had a higher points total in a single race. Big Popper in third in the Spec R Aero Silvia on 64 points. Big Marsh, who was unfortunately away this week, is on 60 points. He's going to be a big contender in next week's race. JB, 59 points, has got a serious opportunity to get into that second and third spot on 59. NW, who is unfortunately not going to make the last round, it sees him finish the round on 55. Deadly on 50, he's got an opportunity to get up there and get into 4th or 5th place. Roger won't make the final round either, as unfortunately was away this week, but could see him return. Don't think that point total will see him anywhere near the end. Same as Winner and Fat Man, but it was great representation. So the next round takes us to Tsukuba, to round 6 for the final running of this series. And with that, I'd just like to shout a massive thank you to all the competitors that have taken part. Today's race was absolutely phenomenal, and big props to all those guys for such a clean performance. Fantastic stuff. And with that being said, folks, all the best. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you very much. And also, massive thank you to our channel members. It's been a big support for us as you've come on at the end of last month. And we'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. Take care. Bye now.